Most of this hurricane season has not been that busy, especially the last couple of weeks. But ironically, or cruelly, one way or another, we are seeing the season really heat up right now. So we wanted to take just a couple of minutes to kind of give you the latest on the tropical situation in the Atlantic right now and what could be down the road over the next 5 to 7 days. So in case you missed it, we have two possible systems that could be getting going. Right now, there's one system that's already formed, and then another one that's likely to form next. So here we have it. This is our latest tropical storm. And then over here, that's the system that is yet to come that we'll be tracking maybe over the weekend, for example. This is called Tropical Storm Humberto. That's the newest system. Winds are at 40 miles per hour. That doesn't matter all that much right now. But what you need to know, these two systems, even if they're separated by a couple of hundred miles, they're not totally independent of one another. They are going to influence one another's path. So what Humberto does could impact what the next storm does and whether or not the next storm has an impact on the Carolinas. What we think we're pretty sure and what we think we know right now is that Humberto is probably going to get pretty strong into a hurricane by the weekend, and also it's probably not going to affect the Carolinas. You see the path here. This is just the initial cone, which could change, but it's more likely that this storm would do a curve of some kind and stay offshore. Well, that's all well and good. But what about the next one? That's, I think, the bigger question and something that we have to watch pretty carefully. And Brittany and myself and Brad and the whole gang, we're going to be tracking this for you, you can bet. So right now, this system is located somewhere just south of Puerto Rico. It's hard to track because it doesn't really have a center right now. So over the next couple of days, we have to see how it develops a center and then where it pops up. The odds favor it forming somewhere near the Bahamas by the weekend. Well, the problem is it's going to be really, really tough to find out exactly what path it might have at that point. A lot of our computer models tend to curve it away, but some of them bring it awfully close or even onto the Carolina coastline. If there were any impacts from the system in the Carolinas, it would be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, somewhere in that 3-day range of next week. And we just don't really know the answer to that right now. So, Brittany, we've been looking at this the last couple of days, and I think this is an image that a lot of people might have seen on social media right now. When you have two low pressure systems nearby, we call that a Fujiwara effect, and boy, is that a big word. But these storms can kind of rotate around one another. Something that could happen is that the stronger storm, which is Humberto, that could rotate the next one, which would be called Imelda, and pull it out to sea a little bit. So we don't know the answer to it right now. I think the best advice for people is to keep an eye on the forecast. Make sure you're checking up on the tropics each and every day. About once is probably good enough. You don't need to stress too badly. But we want to make sure we're on top of this because we are going to get some rain through the weekend. And if there were to be more tropical rain next week, say at the coast, flooding could be something that becomes a concern, even though we've been pretty dry.
Yeah, I think that's a good explanation, Tim. As always, great job. But also making sure people know that the cold front that's bringing us rain and storms starting tomorrow is not associated anything with what's happening in the tropics. So that would be more, as you mentioned, next week versus in the near term, it's more cold front situation. Yeah, Fujiwara is complicated, and it definitely complicates things too. I think that we're approaching the 1-year anniversary of Helene, but typically, as Tim mentioned, it's the stronger storm that pulls it away. I'm interested to see not only will Humberto try to pull what is likely to become Imelda away, but also Imelda, if it stays closer, if Humberto's not strong enough, the steering currents look to be very weak, Tim, which would mean it could potentially just hang out near Bermuda. And so, of course, that could complicate things in the long term as well.
Yeah. Something we definitely don't want to see. And, as we continue to talk throughout the week, we'll have more updates, and you can keep on checking back with us.